Hello everyone, Mw3 here, bringing you some Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer footage analysis. Now, a few weeks back, IGN and GameSpot released an absolute ton of Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer footage, and so much got released that quite a few good stuff got under the radar and slipped people by. So the aim of this video is to go over some of that multiplayer footage released a little bit back, give it a thorough analysis, and let you make your mind up of what you think about it after you've seen every little detail of it. Right, let's get right on with the video. Now, the first bit of gameplay we're going to analyse in this video is this CTF gameplay on BEOME. Now, we saw BEOME a little bit during the Spec Ops trailer before all the Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer stuff was released. And what we saw about the map then and what we're going to see in this gameplay is that it is a fairly close quarters affair when you're inside the buildings. As you can see here, there's a lot of dark areas, close quarter combat heavy, so you might think a SMG or a shotgun would be the way to go. However, as you break onto the surface, as you'll see in a little bit, it does get a tiny bit more open, meaning assault rifles will come back into play. However, the general map size seems to be a lot smaller than the vast majority of Black Ops maps, which is a good sign, because as we all know, many people don't like Black Ops because it's slow paced, and a good way to speed up a game and speed up a gameplay is by shrinking the map down, meaning you get into gunfights a lot quicker, really ramping up the pace. So let's get on with the analysis. Now, as we follow this guy into the sunlight, we get to see that he's using a G36 assault rifle. Now, this is a weapon we got to use and see in its compact version way back in the COD 4 days. However, it's taken a little bit of a hiatus from the Call of Duty series, so it's pretty good to see it back again. However, we're not too concerned about the weapon skins. What's far more important from these videos is how the weapons seem to handle, and there are quite a few points for me to pick up on here. First and foremost, the recoil seems to be a lot higher than it was in Modern Warfare 2. You only have to remember back to weapons such as the ACR and the M4 to remember that some assault rifles had virtually no recoil at all. So it is quite refreshing to see that the assault rifles do seem to recoil quite a lot. However, to balance this off, people seem to drop very, very quickly. Now, Robert Bolin has mentioned several times in his tweets that the assault rifles and weapons in general will behave as if they had stopping power. So you're going to kill people very, very quickly. As you get to see there, he gets dropped very, very quickly at the end. And that is also another good thing. Having high damage weapons really does speed up gameplay again, because in Black Ops you had a lot of people escaping gunfights, and it ends up a little bit like Halo, people standing there and blatting each other for a good 30 seconds and still being able to escape the gunfight. So by powering up the weapons, hopefully what we'll be able to see in Modern Warfare 3 is that fast-paced gun-on-gun combat that we're all looking forward to. Right, let's move on to the next clip. Now, this next gameplay takes place on the London Underground map, quite conveniently called Underground. Now, Underground is a map we've seen heavily featured in all of the trailers and a lot of gameplay videos released on YouTube. And the first and the major thing to take away from this gameplay is that whilst the map is still quite intimate, meaning it has a lot of close combat areas, it is still quite a large map. So whilst that means all the gunfights you will run into will be quite close range, as this gunfight is here, it is going to take you quite a long time to run into gunfights due to the overall size of the map. Now, this is something we weren't really expecting from Robert Bolin, because he had said in the past that the maps were going to be shrunk down. However, what I think we can see from these sort of videos here is that whilst the length of the gunfight seems to be shrunken down, a lot of the maps still keep the same sort of size that they were in Black Ops. Right, as you can see from this still image here, the riot shield mechanics are virtually identical to how they were in Modern Warfare 2. If you're not quite sure how they worked in Modern Warfare 2, basically, if you get flashed or stunned, you drop your riot shield slightly, and if you're not crouched when you're moving around, your feet stick out of the bottom of the riot shield, as you can see here. These are two quite useful ways to balance the riot shield out, because otherwise it can get very, very annoying very, very quickly. As the guy spawns in here, you get to see a little bit more of what I mean about this map. As you can see, the vast majority of this map is very, very enclosed, meaning you'll run into a lot of short-range gunfights. However, the overall map size is still quite large, so there'll be an increased amount of time between each gunfight. Now, this can lead to some quite slow-paced gameplay, as we get to see here. Admittedly, this guy really doesn't know what he's doing, but I bet even if someone knows the map off by heart, it's still going to take a little bit too long for people to get around the map and run into those gunfights. Hopefully this map plays a little bit better in game modes such as Domination, where those fixed points will mean people get gravitated towards him instead of just wandering around the map randomly like this guy turns out to be. However, I'm still looking forward to seeing a lot more close range and more intimately sized maps in the final version of the game. Right, let's move on to the next clip. Now this third bit of gameplay sees a guy playing some domination on a map called Arcaden. Now Arcaden is another map that reminds me quite heavily of maps featured in previous Infinity Ward games. This part of the map reminds me heavily of the COD 4 map Broadcast, in that it has a lot of intimate close combat areas around the fringe of the map, surrounding quite a large and open central courtyard. However, the rest of the map reminds me quite heavily of Quarry, in that it is quite a vertical map. What I mean by that is there is not just one level plane of battle. You get a lot of stairs, you get a lot of windows high up, meaning that you'll run into people at multiple different levels. As you can see here, you're on a pedestal looking down on a guy on the stairs, and if this guy had some better aim, you probably would have killed him. And this means it's a lot more likely to encourage camping. When you increase verticality, when you increase the windows people can look at and the hidey holes they can camp away in, it really does slow the gameplay down. And you only have to remember back to Modern Warfare 2's map Quarry to understand that that is true. The increased verticality meant there are a lot more places for people to camp, really slowing the gameplay down. And hopefully this map doesn't follow the same route, because what we're really looking forward to in Modern Warfare 2 is that increased pace of map. And by having maps like Arcaden, which seem to be quite busy maps, it really does encourage people to play a little bit slower and a little bit more defensively. Right, this next bit of gameplay follows an entirely new game mode to the Call of Duty series. This new game mode is called Kill Confirmed. Now, it is practically the same as TDM, however it does have one very important difference. Instead of just getting points for killing the enemy team, you have to literally run over their fallen corpse to pick up a dog tag to get the points. Now this is designed to stop camping, because if you camp in the back of the map with an assault rifle, with a sniper rifle or whatever, and kill people from a distance, you are not going to get any points at all unless you leave your camping spot to pick up the dog tag that enemy drops. Crucially, if one of your teammates gets killed and drops his dog tag, if you run over that dog tag, you deny the enemy that kill. So it really does mean you've got to run around the map, stick close to your teammates, and be a lot more team oriented than you do have to be in other Call of Duties. Right, let's get on with the gameplay. Right, as this gameplay gets cracking, we can see the guy is using a new shotgun to the Call of Duty series, the USAS-12. Now this is semi-automatic in-game and actually looks like quite an effective weapon, because it seems to have pretty decent range. As you can see there, that was not sneezing distance at all, that was quite a comfortable range away. So it looks like the shotguns are going to be viable choices in Modern Warfare 3, despite the fact they are now primary weapons instead of secondary weapons. Just a little bit on the map. This map reminds me so much of Jungle from Black Ops. You know, you've got a village on one side of the map, you've got a river running through it, and you've got a lot of verticality again. Now, once again, this goes against what Robert Bowling's been saying in his Twitter feed for a very long time. He was saying that pretty much all of the maps are going to be less vertical and less camping orientated. And as you've already seen from following this guy around, there's a lot of dark corners, high spots, easy places to camp and defend. So hopefully game modes like Kill Confirmed will stop people from camping on maps such as this and really encourage people to run around, because as you see from this guy here, if you do run around during this game mode and in this game type, you'll get a lot of success. And look at the range on that shotgun there, that is comfortably longer than any of the Black Ops shotguns. So it's really looking like Modern Warfare 3 is working hard to bring shotguns back on the map. Now, the final bit of this trailer is not going to cover multiplayer footage at all. However, it is going to cover something just as interesting. This image shows the Prestige Shop. Now, the Prestige Shop is a new addition to the Call of Duty series. It finally gives players meaningful rewards for prestiging. Now, what we know about prestiging so far is it's going to be 80 levels long. However, we're not too sure how many levels of prestige there are going to be. We've seen 10, we've seen 15 in the past. But what we do know from Robert Bowling's Twitter feed and from what we've heard from Call of Duty XP is that the higher levels are going to be less of a grind. In games like Modern Warfare 2, you would fly through the first 30 levels, but once you got to the final 10 levels, it would take you days of grind to get the higher levels. So apparently what we're going to see in Modern Warfare 3 is a lot smoother curve, which is a lot better in my opinion, because if you're ranking up regularly, you're unlocking new weapons regularly, so it keeps it fresh and interesting. You've got things to look forward to. However, if you unlock everything in a big glut at the start and then everything slows down, you've really got nothing to look forward to in those mid levels, the 40 to 50 levels for example. So having it this way is a really good idea in my opinion. Right, the most important thing from this image though is what the Prestige shop offers to you. Now I know the picture isn't the best, however it was the best I could find, so if you're struggling to see what they say, I'll read them out for you. You get options of extra custom classes, the ability to reset all your stats, double XP, double weapon XP, the ability to unlock gear, the mystery gear, not too sure what that is, and challenges 1, 2 and 3, and titles and emblems 1, 2 and 3. Right, the extra custom class slot is fairly self-explanatory. You've had that in the last few Call of Duties. When you rank up, you got an extra custom class slot to give you that little bit of extra flexibility. However, it looks like you're going to actually have to purchase it this time. You don't just get it free, you've got to make the conscious choice to get that custom class slot. So that'll just bring in a little bit more tactical options here. Do you go for the custom class slot to get it early, or do you go for the double XP reward to make sure you get that next prestige as fast as possible and then get the double XP again, or get the custom slot again in the future? So it does open up a few more opportunities. Now, I can see the titles and emblems being left till right at the end. I can see a lot of people going for double XP and double weapon XP very, very early, and perhaps extra custom class slots at Prestige 2 and 3, because at the start you'll just find weapons that you enjoy, and once you found your weapons that you enjoy, you'll pretty much keep them in your 5 default weapon class slots. However, once you've got a little bit further into the game and you realise that some maps have certain weapon specialities that you need, and what weapons work better in what game modes, you want to have that extra few custom class slots just to give you that little bit of extra flexibility, and that's when I think people will start to buy the creator class slots. Now, that Prestige shop analysis is going to bring an end to the Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer footage analysis video. However, if there is anything specific you want me to analyse in the future, please leave a link in the comments and I'll be quite happy to analyse it in a future video. I hope you have enjoyed the video. I tried to make it as detailed and as broad as possible, covering as many new game modes, as many new maps and as many new weapons as possible. But like I said, if there is anything specific you want me to cover in a future video, please just mention it in the comments and I won't hesitate to do that. Like I've said before, if you have enjoyed the video, please rate and comment as always. Comment what you think you are going to expect from Modern Warfare 3, what you have liked so far from the footage, what you have not liked so far from the footage. I'll start it off personally. I think it looks a lot like Modern Warfare 2, however that is not necessarily a bad thing. Modern Warfare 2 in my opinion was 95% perfect, but it just got ruined by the commando lunge, by the one-man army noob tubes, by some ridiculous map design. But hopefully Modern Warfare 3 will just iron out those few tricky difficulties and give us a fantastic game. If they just sorted out Modern Warfare 2's problems, gave it a graphical boost, introduced some new game modes and new maps, I think a lot of people will be very, very happy, so that's what I'm hoping for. Anyway, like I said guys, if you did enjoy the video, please rate and comment as always, and have a fantastic day.